What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video of the Tech Teen. So we're finally back at a new programming video. So the last couple of months we were just doing tech stuff, tech videos, everything was related to tech. So we're finally back at another programming video. So enjoy. So the question that we are going to answer in today's video is going to be: how many programming languages should you learn? And of course there's not just one answer, so we're gonna cover a lot of things in today's video. But before we get into it, I just want to remind you that I still have school 8 hours every single day. After that we have homework. So that's why I'm not uploading that much, but in just a couple of days the schools are going to close and you're going to see a lot more videos, probably upload a video every 2 days or every 3 days. We're going to see how that goes, but yeah, let's jump right into the question. If we are going to put every single programming language into a table, we were going to have loads and loads of them. For example, we were going to have Python, Java, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, C, C++, C#, JavaScript. The list goes on and on. So what we are going to do today is that first of all we are going to dig a little bit more into every language. Not every language, most of the languages that you are probably going to use at some point. So let's start. For example, you want to build a website. You are going to need to know HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So you know all those stuff to create a website, but you probably also want to create a game in Unity, so you're going to have to learn C#. You want to create a game in Unreal Engine, learn C. You want to learn AI and machine learning, go to Python. So you know all that stuff now. But let's say that you don't want to get a job and you don't really have something in mind. You just want to start learning programming, and you're going to see how everything is going to go as the weeks, months pass. Which programming should you learn first? I have a video that I would totally tell you to go and watch, which is which programming should you learn first. It's gonna pop up here, I think. So definitely go and check that out after you see this video. You find the language that you want to start with. Now you learn this language, good, but you want to expand your knowledge. You know, that's really important. If you only know one language, is for example one of your math teachers, they know math and only math. Again, not for everyone, but that's not good. If you know only math and you don't know how to talk English correctly, or not English, the language that you are into, if you don't know that, then you only good at math. And that's not a great thing to have. So after you learn the first language, which I tell you that you should learn Python, you should go to learn something a little bit more difficult. Not from Python go to Java, but from Python you could go to JavaScript. After you learn JavaScript, and HTML and CSS, which they're not really programming languages, but you have to learn them if you want to learn JavaScript or create a web application. But what you have to do after you learn those two main languages is go and check the harder side, which is going to be C, C++, or Java. Those languages need a lot more things that you have to learn. They are harder. First of all, you need to remember a lot more things. Everything is more difficult. For example, just to print something in the screen. For example, you want to print hello world. In Python, you say print hello world. That's it. But for example, in C++, you have to create a class, create a function. Inside this function, create all those things. So it's harder. You need to have the main knowledge from something easier to jump into C, C++, Java, C#, and all those languages. Of course, you don't need to know Python to go to C. You could start with C and you could see what is going to happen. So what I recommend you to do is learn 3 languages really good: Python, JavaScript, and C++. Those are the 3 languages that I recommend you to use. Of course, if you have to get into a job and this job tells you to pass the interview you need Java, C++, and C#, then you should pick one of those languages. Or you could check how much money every programmer at the specific language earns. For example, if in Google you earn 50,000 euros every month, every year when you know Python, and 100,000 when you know Java, then you should learn Java. It's gonna make you more money, so you're losing nothing. So where I'm going with all of these things: first of all, you don't have to learn a lot of languages to be a good programmer. Let's just take that out of the way. So after all that, what you have to take out from this video is that expanding your knowledge is always good. So you learn Python, you learn C++. You know those languages really good. Probably at one point one of your classmates, whatever it is that they know, for example C++, they are going to ask you a question on C++. If you only knew Python, you couldn't answer this question. If you knew C++, then it would be easier for you to explain your friend whatever they needed. And if you learn a language, for example Python, everything else is going to be easier to learn. 100% sure. You learn Python, C++ is going to be 10 times easier to learn, because you will go to a tutorial and you will see printing. You know printing. You're going to see variables. You already know variables. You're going to see for loops. You already know for loops. So learning more languages is better for you. Learning more languages is better for you because you're going to expand your knowledge. Expanding your knowledge is going to make you a better programmer. If you want to get into web programming and you know JavaScript, but you also know more languages, it's going to be easier for you, first of all, to solve a problem that you have in JavaScript, because C++ And the harder languages are all about solving problems. You're going to have a problem that you probably forgot to put a parenthesis. You're going to learn a lot more things. Also, when you get into a language that's harder, you're going to look at your programming language and every other language differently, which is really important. So, to close this video, I want to tell you that learn close to 3 languages really good. Of course, you can learn every single language if you want, but that's not going to help you that much. I am the Tech Teen, and I will see you all in another video. Don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye!